Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is moving in day 3. I moved in 2 days ago and I think I'm coping fine. I think I am settling in well. My cousin sister left yesterday. I felt like the whole world would come to an end. You guys know how moving in day 1 was for me. I was really in my feelings about my sister leaving the following day, which was yesterday. So she eventually left. So I am left alone in this massive apartment. This is a 1 bedroom that is so big, so spacious. So in my creative mind, I am already picturing how I am going to restructure this room to make the most of this space. So 3 things in mind. I am going to get a bed frame. I believe it is going to give my room a facelift. And then over to this side, you guys may not be able to really see it, but I want to put a demarcation around here so that this is my room area, my room, my clothing, shoes, wears and everything. Then this space that you're seeing right now, the space that's from here backwards will be a mini sitting room. So I'm looking at putting a sofa close to this, like close to the door. There should be a sofa here. Probably put my TV here. Television could be here. Yes, should be here. Either I'll put the sofa here or here. Remember, there is a demarcation, probably a curtain. Doesn't have to be a serious something. TV, sofa, bed frame, so that once I walk into my room, I can choose to relax on the sofa. Or if a visitor comes in, there will be a separation, demarcation from my living room, so that not when someone walks in, they are seeing my bed already. Because like I said, this one room is a massive space. So I can do a lot with this space. This is not even the only space. Can you see that area as well? That's a space. So that's my bathroom door. Then the door to the kitchen, that is here. So this is massive actually. And the honest truth is that I can't even do so much at this point if I don't begin to buy equipment, items that can be able to help me put my things together, because basically the room is empty. So a lot of my things are still on the floor here and there, here and there. So I'm just going to take my time. How do I do? Take my time, go through the internet, look for equipment that can be used to refurbish or furnish a house. Like this morning, my mind pictured sofa, bed frame, and this demarcation to demarcate my... I hope you guys are even getting what I'm saying. Is the camera angle really doing justice to what I'm explaining? Thank you. This is a good angle. So from this point, there will be a demarcation to this end. So then things like rag, and you know the small things that can help you lift items from the floor will help me at this point. But honestly, I'm just taking my time. I'm taking my time. Probably when I get everything fixed up, I am going to offer you guys a room tour. When I put everything together, there'll be a room tour. For now, that's it for me. I think I'm basically done reorganizing. I'm basically done reorganizing. So the next phase for me now is to start bringing in equipment, start bringing in items, start bringing in things to make the most of my space. So I am 20 plus. You probably find out my precise age on my birthday, which is on the 19th of February. On that note, happy new month, guys. Welcome to the month of February. So 4 days ago, I moved into my second apartment, which happens to be my first apartment on Lagos Island. But before we get into the Q&A section, let me just give you guys a brief rundown on my Lagos living. You know, I relocated to Lagos in 2021, and you know, where have I been living? Before I even came into Lagos, I got an apartment through a relative. A relative helped me get the apartment. So on coming to Lagos, I got to the apartment and nah, it wasn't to my taste. Let's just say I didn't stay for up to a week in that apartment, and thankfully I had a relative close to where I was doing my internship. So last year, being 2023, I made a step to start living alone again. My brother, who lives in Lagos, moved out from an apartment in Amuwodofi. I moved in to replace him, but unfortunately, the landlord of the house decided to sell the house, and the new landlord increased the rent. So that left me again to move in with a relative for the meantime. So this was happening towards the end of last year. That's the video where I talked about moving to live on Lagos Canal. You guys thought that I went to build house on the canal. Seriously? No, seriously? So in that video, actually, I moved to stay with a relative who lives in an estate close to that particular canal. Fast forward to now, I'm like, you know what? I really want to live alone. And not just to live alone, I want to live on Lagos Island because of the work that I do here on YouTube. And, you know, let me just have an experience of Lagos Island. I'll make a separate video on why I moved to Lagos or why I decided and I chose Lagos Island. But yeah, finally, I am in my dream apartment. Hopefully, nobody's going to increase rent. Paid my rent. I am sure of staying here for a year. So, of course, you will probably have vital questions to ask, you know, for people that are interested in moving to new apartments in Lagos, relocating from Lagos mainland to Lagos Island like I did, and you know, cost of renting an apartment on the island. Is it that difficult to get a house? Is it that expensive and all of that? So here we go. Based on my few experiences, let me answer a few questions that you probably have Googled. Firstly, let me answer the question, is living alone fun? So of course, I am staying alone in this apartment, and all I can say is that it's 50-50. I am adjusting fine, but at the same time, I am having that need and craving for, you know, human interaction. Like I said, I have been used to living. In fact, I've been used to living in family, yes, but in uni, I actually stayed alone 5 years in uni. But I did have friends come around, sometimes they sleep over. But I feel it's a different case scenario now because when I am in a new city where I barely know anybody, even if I know anybody, like life is much more different now. Everybody's about their hustle. Like you're not in a space with people that are like-minded, or like in university where you have fellow students that, you know, you go to school together, you are in the lodge at the same time, you know. Right now, I'm in a different city. Even if you make friends, like people are about their business. So at the end of the day, sometimes or most times you are still alone. Ever since I relocated since 2021, I have mostly stayed with family. So that's why it feels different for me right now. There is a need for me to get used to staying alone. It's not that easy, but it's something that I need for myself, right? So, with my experience, judge yourself to know if it's something that you can do. But I guess the beautiful thing about living alone is the peace that comes with it. You know, you have your own space, you do your own thing. Well, I consider getting a 9 to 5 job so that I don't feel too alone in this massive space. Honestly, I am beginning to think about it. Think about getting a job so that, you know, I keep that human interaction is very vital for me, like something that will take me out every day. But at the same time, it's a tough decision to make because I have my content work to do. So I don't want anything that will interfere with what I'm doing here. But I'll still make that decision. Okay. Second question that you probably want to ask is, how much did I pay for my apartment? Well, you guys know I already said that I'm not going to review that, but this is going to be helpful. If you're on a budget of say 300,000, 400,000, because that's like the average rent for a self-con in Lagos, both on the mainland and even on the island, the only hindrance that you are going to be having is when you get to hear the price of the caution fee, agency and agreement that gets added to the rent. These prices can literally push a rent of 300,000 up to 600,000 total pay, because that's what you pay for the first year, but subsequent years you're just facing the rent. But people have the issue with paying that first fee, you know, 600,000, 650,000 as the case may be. So if you don't have that bulk money to, or additional money to pay for agency and agreement, sometimes they tell you 150,000 agency and agreements, 150,000 caution. Speak to an agent. The best option for you is to get a shared flat. So with that, you're maintaining the rent fee of 300,000, and then the agency of an agreement that would have probably been total of 300,000 or 350,000 will now be shared amongst the flatmates. So at the end of the day, you find out that you're probably paying 100,000 for agency and agreement combined to your 200,000 rent. So 400,000, I think that's a fair price. Sometimes people are already in the flat looking for an extra person to join them, or the agent is going to help you get someone to stay with. Okay, so next question, how did I get this apartment? I saw this apartment online. It's very simple. Just Google affordable houses in Aja, affordable apartment, flat, semi-flat, whatever your option is. So after I googled it, a lot of options came up. I actually scrolled through and I picked interest in this apartment. It was one of the few apartments that I picked interest in. So I began to call the agents, because when you Google and you see the picture, the agent's number is going to be there under the picture. Okay, so I called like 2 agents, and the agent that helped me get here was one of the agents that I called. So God helped me. I came straight to this apartment. It was actually the first apartment, not the only apartment. After checking this one, I went to check 2 more apartments, but I wasn't satisfied. My mind was already for this one. I picked it and I made payment ASAP. So I paid extra 5,000 for registration, and then very importantly, when you pay your rent, be sure to ask for a receipt. Be sure that you're dealing with the right agent. Whoever you call, make sure the person has access to the house, and when you make payment, ask for the receipt immediately. The next thing that you need to know when you're trying to get into a new apartment is you need to be sure that things are intact. For example, you have to walk around the compound, check if there is an overhead tank. Very important, because these people, you come to the house, water will be running, but actually there is no water. Sometimes you will see water in the house when there is light, but once they take the light, after like 2 hours, water will stop running. So you might be unlucky to come when there is light and water is running, but there is no overhead tank. Check how they dispose refuse. Go out to the neighborhood. Ask if they have issues with lights. Rainy season, does the area get flooded? Does that particular house get flooded? Check for Almaco window. Check that it can be pinned and locked. Check for the net, the Almaco net. Check for sockets. Check that the door is not faulty. Check for taps. Check for shower, check for water closet, be sure that it can actually flush. Try everything, touch it, don't be scared. Turn the tap. You know, things are very vital for you, because fact is everything must not be 100%, but pick your fight. I think that's about it. If you have more questions that you want to ask, if you have any more thing that you want to find out about, leave them in the comment section. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Just in case you haven't subscribed yet, please do. and turn on the bell button beside it so that you get notifications whenever I upload my videos. And I'll see you, of course, in my next one. Thanks. Bye.